October 23rd today, and this video is just a video to just declare something that I feel like it's time to say yes to. October 23rd, 2017? Yeah, it's 2017. Had to think about it for a minute, but yeah, I felt like when I was spending some time today in just prayer and silence and solitude that I finally had peace in my spirit for once, about, really taking a declaration today and saying that this is the day I'm going to say it, that I really do want to declare that, that I am a whole foods plant-based vegan and that I'm not going back. I have no intention of going back. I've said that for almost 50 days now, that I have no intention of going back, but I've been very leery of committing to saying yes to anything beyond that, simply because I don't know, scared of commitment, scared of setting myself up to fail, I think was a big part of it. But I've gone through these weekends. The weekends have just been so transformative for me. Weekends used to be a time where I spent really obsessing about food, ritualizing food. Even when I was in healthy phases of eating really clean throughout the week, clean being mostly lean chicken protein, ground turkey and vegetables, a little bit of brown rice here and there, quinoa. Even when I was doing that, the weekends were always my ritual to kind of just what I would call cheat or be free. And so I would, ritualize food. Food was everything, and I would feel like everywhere I went on Friday nights was so important, to making sure that I took advantage fully of my food choices. And I would be in a bad mood if I didn't have a good meal, or if I was disappointed by the pizza that I had that night. I'm not gonna lie, even saying the word pizza, this is part of why I've been commitment phobic, is saying, my God, am I really giving up the local pizza spot that I love so much by saying that I'm whole foods plant-based vegan? But yeah, I am. I really giving up the burger spots that I love? Yeah, I am. I mean, because again, those weekends for so much of my life, and all of my life, have been centered around food, centered around making sure that I made the most of the weekend. And in the process, I felt like crap the entire time. But I felt like I was giving myself some sort of reward for what I had done during the weeks. And not all weeks were perfect either. So I think the biggest thing for me right now is that I'm at a stage in my life now where I know that it can't be about me. And there are so many things that I feel like I need to do for my family first and foremost, in terms of who I need to be as a father. It comes down to my attitude, my motivation, my endurance, my bandwidth, my capacity for responsibility. So much of that to me is being addressed by eating this way. The energy I have, the anxiety I no longer have about whether or not I'm going to live to see my kids grow old. God willing, each day there's only so much we can do, but I feel like for a long time I wasn't doing what I could do to really ensure that, because of the food choices that I was making. The countless hours I spent obsessing not only over food but over exercise, and feeling like that was the only way to have peace with my physical health. And now realizing that, eating this way gives me so much energy that, yeah, I want to exercise, but it's not this vital component that if I don't do it, it means that all of a sudden I'm going to, be really unhealthy. There's just so much more freedom right now. Food is not the obsession. I mentioned recently, but a client said, food is no longer my master. That's really how I'm feeling. I went to a wedding this weekend, and I typically would have been agonizing over being on a food restriction, a restrictive diet in terms of what I can or can't eat. And I went there and I just ate what I could eat, and I didn't even think about it. I ate green beans. I ate a giant plate of green beans, and that was not even a focus for me at all. The food was not a focus. Yesterday was my wife's birthday. She loves Asian food. She's always wanting to go to Asian food. We're constantly arguing about not going to Asian food. Right now, that's like the only place I can go and really know, other than a vegan restaurant, that I can get something that works for me because of the ability to get, vegetables and brown rice, and some tofu at times. So, being able to yesterday on her birthday actually go out and not make it all about me and my own hangups about, oh, I hate sushi, or I'm trying to avoid carb, all that stuff. I just went, I got some steamed vegetables and I got some brown rice, and it was all good. It was fine. Um, that to me is kind of like, and this is where I do feel like it's spiritual. I feel like, so much of my walk spiritually is all about making it less about me and trying to, think more of others. And that's really a struggle for me. It's really a struggle for me. I can be very selfish at my core. And, uh, and I'm realizing now how this is just one of those areas, food, where I've been so selfish so many times over the years. And as much as I have grief over that and feel bad about that, I'm also just empowered to know it doesn't have to be that way anymore. That I could now go on trips and not have to spend, hours researching which restaurants to eat at. I mean, I'm still a foodie. I might do that with some of the vegan restaurants. But even then, it's not going to be make or break for me like it once was. I just feel like I have a greater capacity. I think we all do, really, to to do the things that are big, not live day to day, to be the types of fathers and husbands and wives and daughters, um, and partners that we want to be, and mothers that we want to be right now for our kids. And instead we put it off as this like vision of one day I'll be this, but it starts on a day-to-day basis. And I'm not saying everyone struggles like me, because most people I don't think do. I think there's a handful that do, but for me, this has been like one of the things that has gotten in my way. I think it's limited my capacity to be the best father, the best husband. Not just that, to be the best at my profession as a counselor, a therapist, to really be present to help people and have the bandwidth necessary. And on a greater level, to enact the sort of change that God's convicted on my heart and my community, and to carry out even bigger messages. They're all bigger than me. But I can't do that if I'm sitting here feeling awful, or if I'm obsessing about food, or I'm obsessing about my weight. So for me, I just have to finally declare. It's scary to declare it, but I have to declare that yeah, I'm vegan. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna live into it. Yeah, I am setting myself up. There's more pressure on me now than there was yesterday when I was saying I'm taking it day to day, but it just feels right. It just feels what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna do it. I'm whole foods, plant-based vegan.